Hi everyone, it's Dr. Jenelle Kim and this is The Experts. Today I have Danielle Gronich and Kayleigh Christina with me, two amazingly beautiful women from the inside out. Danielle, we live in the same area, the same hometown, so she is a friend to me, and I am so excited to talk about their incredible skincare line, their journey, how they are experts, true experts in the skincare world. We will get into that, but before we do, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about who they are, if for some reason you don't know already. Which I'd be a little surprised. Danielle Gronich and Kayleigh Christina are the powerhouse duo behind ClearSTEM Skincare, a revolutionary brand that bridges the gap between clinical and clean beauty with a mission to help people achieve clear skin without compromising their health. Very important. ClearSTEM has become a trusted name among those seeking evidence-based, non-toxic skincare. Danielle Gronich, also known as the Acne Guru, let that be known, is a licensed clinical esthetician and the founder of the San Diego Acne Clinic. After years of struggling with severe cystic acne and navigating the frustrating world of prescriptions and misinformation, she dedicated herself to understanding the root causes of skin issues, especially acne. Kayleigh Christina is a holistic nutritionist, entrepreneur, and wellness expert whose personal health journey, including hormonal imbalances and adult acne, led her to become an advocate for integrative approaches to skin health. With a background in nutrition and a passion for product development, Kayleigh brings a deeply intentional lens to everything that she creates. Together, Danielle and Kayleigh founded ClearSTEM to challenge the status quo of the skincare industry, educate consumers, and empower people to heal their skin from the inside out. All right, ladies.
That was amazing.
That was incredible.
Well, there's so much more. I have to like
Feel
fit
good
it
about
into,
myself now.
you know, and I actually love doing
Like a
that. Sometimes I'm
pop-up
like, should I keep
speech.
doing this? But I want everyone to hear all of the amazing things while they're sitting right here and being grounded in that, because it's a lot that you all are doing. One of the things that we will touch on is, you know, it's not easy. On the back end of things, I watch many, many companies, right? And create many beautiful formulas. Yours are incredibly very special, but it's not always easy to do what you both are doing. So I can't wait to start there. But before we do that, one of my favorite things to do is to understand how you got here. Maybe a little bit different, but like literally we go way back. So I would love to know like what your childhood was like. It sounds really funny, but it really is my favorite part of understanding who you are in that way, you know, and how you got to where you are today. Like, did you both know you were going to find each other and have an incredible skincare line named ClearSTEM?
I wish I could say that I was an oracle when I was a kid, but no, someone asked me, I think it was my best friend. We were like 6 and we were talking about what we wanted to be when we grew up. And all I knew is that I wanted to travel and write it off.
Oh my God, I love it. See, this is why I love that.
So that
I have
came
not
true.
heard that.
I'm
I have not
obsessed.
heard that response yet, Danielle.
That came true. I've always been visualizing my future before I even like knew what that meant. But yeah, at the time, to be clear, I thought that meant you traveled for free. That's not what it means,
No,
apparently.
it does
but
not.
you
Nothing's
get a
free.
discount on it. So yeah, we get to travel and write it off a lot. I always had a problem with authority, and I like went through a glorious string of terrible bosses in my corporate life. Like so bad. One of them was like a cocaine addict and would cancel all of our trainings, and then she got fired. And then I became the de facto manager even after like 3 months of being there. So that was fun. Then I got recruited for a different company, had a horrible boss there. It was like the most stressful time in my life. And then I was like, why do I want to go get another job? This is when I was like 28, 29. And I was at the same time on my 3rd round of Accutane. I had done 2 full rounds before and spent years on antibiotics and spironolactone, and none of it worked. My acne came right back each time. And the 3rd round of Accutane flopped as well. My acne came right back within a couple of months. And I was like, I don't want another corporate job. I have a background in biology and immunology, and I know I can figure this out myself. I just need the right data. So I found myself in esthetician school simply to learn about skin so I could heal my own skin. And while I was there, I saw that treating acne was like the dream profession that I never knew existed. I started the San Diego Acne Clinic about a year after that, after I trained under a lot of like the local masters in the area, and then never looked back. It never ever has felt like work a day in my life, even when I was seeing like 12 clients a day.
Yeah, I love that, Danielle. I really appreciate it. That's why I like to ask, you know, because you have committed to that and it really shows, and that's really important. You know, I'm here. I have a son who's now becoming 12 years old, so he's getting into that, and I'm already seeing it. You know, and so it really it affects us. So
It really affects the kids.
yes,
It affects their parents.
yes,
You know, I get the parents will bring in their teenagers to the clinic, and the parent is more stressed out than the kid.
Of course, because we want to do everything in our power to protect them. And if we feel like they're uncomfortable at all, you know, everything in balance. But I hear you.
Yeah, but I met Kayleigh as one of my first clinic patients.
Oh my gosh, I did not. This is why I love this. Okay, Kayleigh, start from the beginning.
I love this question because I never put the pieces together until way later in life. So when I was young, I didn't really know that having your own company was even a profession, just because I'm from Pittsburgh. It's a lot of blue
My
collar
favorite people are from Pittsburgh.
Really?
It's the truth. Some of my best friends. It's a whole
Oh my
thing.
gosh, it's a lot of blue collar entrepreneurship. So everyone I knew growing up whose parents owned their own company, it was landscaping companies, engineering, like steel production, or like material production, concrete, paving, stuff like that. So that is the only experience I got to owning your own company. I didn't know anything different. And looking back, I was always trying to find ways to make money because if I ever wanted something, I had to pay for it. So my parents would allow me to do like chores around the house for money or do like extra math problems for money.
Right.
And
I love that. I have to
wanted to
remember that
find
one.
more ways. And so I remember at a really young age, I would do lemonade stands. And I very quickly realized like, adults don't just want lemonade. Like adults love beer. Adults love wine coolers. So I didn't know this was illegal. I raided my parents' fridge and I was on the corner of like a main street selling wine coolers and beer for like $5. And I was like, because that's what the adults want.
Yes.
And it was so cute. Our next door neighbor like went and knocked on my parents' door and was like, do you know you're like, he thought it was so, everyone thought it was hilarious because I was like 8 years old at the time. And they were like, do you know your daughter is selling beer on the corner?
You're like a bartender, like flipping the bottles.
I mean, seriously.
My parents
I just picture my little Jackson outside with like the.
my parents had to give me this talk of they're like, we love your creativity and you're right, like adults do want this, but like sadly it's illegal. I opened a carnival in my backyard where I set out all these different like ring tosses, like every game I possibly had, I set up and then I gave away all my, and then people had to buy tickets in the
Yes.
neighborhood. And then I gave away my toys and stuffed animals as prizes. But like I made money because people would like come to play the games
Uh-huh.
and then win my stuffed animals.
Yes, so
So
smart.
like I was doing all these things at such a young age. I loved providing an experience, but I didn't even know that's what I was doing at the time. And then I double majored in business and sports management and then minored in marketing and communications.
Mhm.
And so a lot of my internships ended up being in the sports world because it was just basically, it was like a focused business degree. So you do all the business school courses, and then you also do the secondary of the sports. So you do sports marketing, sports PR, sports accounting, sports law, in
Right.
addition to all the normal ones. And I thought that was really fun. And sports is providing such an experience to a fan base, but it's still a business at the
Yes.
same time. And so my first job out of college was working for the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Mhm.
and I loved it. I mean, it was
Oh
it
my
was
gosh, is
truly
Baron gonna
great.
kill me? Did he play for the Cavaliers? It was a
Did you?
yes, right? Okay, thank God. Sorry, Baron. Baron Davis, his studios were at Slick.
Oh,
That's
wait,
how he
no
played for the
way.
Cavaliers. I mean, what are the chances? Yes.
I was there in the years that LeBron wasn't, which means
Okay.
I'd be really good at marketing and sales because selling to Cleveland when their star player had just left, people were hanging up on me left and right. They were like, why should I even come? Like LeBron left us. It was like a really treacherous time for the town of Cleveland. And so providing really amazing experiences at the arena, outside the arena for all the members, for all the season ticket holders was challenging to keep people excited in a time where they were angry, they were
Sure.
furious, they were upset, like, you know, the
Yes.
Cleveland fans, very intense. And so I didn't realize, you know, fast forward to, I met Danielle as one of her clinic patients because I was really struggling with acne. I had recently gone off of birth control, and I broke out with inflamed cystic acne. Danielle completely changed my life. I spent over a year trying to solve my aggressive acne, couldn't figure it out for myself. Even with a background in nutrition, I'm an integrative health practitioner and I put myself through so many protocols, still couldn't figure it out. Felt like a fraud for not being able to figure it out myself. Met Danielle, she cleared my skin in 2 months. And it really comes down to her entire ethos of San Diego Acne Clinic and what she's built that we've since rolled into ClearStem. But I never realized how much my past and joy of bringing experiences and bringing people in.
May say, Kayleigh,
Yeah.
I don't want to forget to say this, is that you also, in your story, you created experiences, but that also entails that you saw what people were looking for. That's it goes back to even
They
selling the
wanted this
beer
knowledge
and
that
the
Danielle
yeah.
had.
So what is it that people
Yeah.
are looking for? What is
Yeah.
the
They wanted this
be
education.
effective.
They wanted the support. They wanted to feel seen and heard. And Danielle was already doing this at her clinic, and it was so incredible. And when I met Danielle, I'm like, more people need access to this woman. Like more people need access to this information. Like this is not just at San Diego Acne Clinic. This is an entire movement for women, or really anyone who's struggling with acne. It's more predominant for women, especially out of the teenage years. And so that's where ClearStem was born.
I love that. Okay, so of course, naturally, we have so many places to go, but naturally, the next question for myself is, what did you do, Danielle? What did you do?
Well,
don't give away your secrets.
acne is both internal. Well, they're all
I come
on
from a lineage of
ClearStem.com,
secrets.
but, so acne is both internal and external.
Thank you.
What you put in your body affects your hormones. It affects inflammation, and it shows up in your skin. But also the external part, there are a ton of pore-clogging ingredients that
which
most
is a
cosmetic
huge thing for ClearStem.
Yeah, most cosmetic companies use them. Sometimes it's by accident, sometimes it's by laziness. The pore-clogging filler agents that most brands use are not ingredients that are covered in medical school. That's why the derm conversation doesn't even go here.
Right.
They kind of know that acne cosmetica is a thing, but they don't really know why.
Right.
So, and it's not taught in esthetician school. It's like a separate acne specialty that you gotta be a specialist in order to really understand these things. So anyway, it'll be filler agents like ethylhexyl palmitate, isopropyl muriate, isopropyl muriate, Satira 20, things that are hard to pronounce and they're random chemical names that the average consumer cannot even read. And basically those are the things that are breaking everyone out. Companies use them because they have a long shelf life and because they make a nice slick emollient kind of thing.
And they're cheaper. Let's be honest.
You know all about
yes,
that.
Yes, of course.
And
I do this for a living.
Long shelf life and they're cheaper. So it's in almost every product, almost every makeup, almost every sunscreen, almost every moisturizer.
Right.
That's what's keeping everyone broken out. And that's why my Accutane rounds, all 3 of them flopped immediately, is because I was still using sunscreen and moisturizer that had pore cloggers in it. So basically, we go through everyone's full ingredient deck. I have them wheel in a carry-on of everything that touches their skin. I have them lay it all out on my bed.
I love that.
Tell me what your routine is. Right. And we go through every product ingredient. So we're able to rule out a lot of the things that are causing the acne. If they still have something that's functional, like maybe your cleanser was still fine, we'll work that into the new routine. But that is step 1. That's a non-negotiable, is to get rid of pore cloggers.
Absolutely.
And then from there, we go through the dietary stuff. It's very Eastern medicine.
Yes, I know. I'm
getting excited.
I did this at their event too. They had a beautiful event in La Jolla, and I was able to go, lucky enough, and you were having this conversation and you speak of it with such passion, which everyone connects to, but I also was sitting back there like with you with the names and the ingredients, oh my gosh.
I love it.
Please.
Yes. But yeah, I go through what are you eating? When are you eating? Are you having ice water when you eat and disrupting your digestion? Things that get completely ignored in America.
Okay, well can we go through these a little slower, because why not? I don't think people talk about this very often, and I always want to share.
So digestion, I think it's helpful for people to view it as 2 separate components.
Yes.
There's your stomach, and then there's your gut. Very, very different. Some people are like, oh, digestion, I take a probiotic. Part of the equation, not the bigger part. So a lot of people aren't breaking down their food very well. We eat in a hurry, we eat too much, we eat a lot of random stuff. So I focus on people's digestion. So sitting down to eat, making sure you're properly chewing, that alone makes a huge difference for people's inflammation. And then not interrupting your digestion with ice water, for example. Supporting your digestion with apple cider vinegar, bitters, hot water with lemon. We're always telling people to drink hot water with lemon before meals. So daily practices that when they accumulate make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
And then there are some food triggers like dairy. Yes. Most everyone who's acne prone breaks out from dairy.
I know you know this really well. So, and I feel like we're very conscious. So I'm going to do this for a second. Yeah. The ice water thing, for what it's in Eastern medicine, I know you know this, but for those who do not know it, because so many people do not, is that part of your middle, so organs are always paired. In Eastern medicine, we won't go too in depth, but in your middle jiao, they call it, in your middle, you have your spleen and your stomach. So you always have the yin organ and the yang organ. You know, one organ system is the one that makes substance, makes the energy. The other breaks things down. And the spleen, so main part of creating literally the energy from the food and everything, doesn't like cold. There you go. That is why, like,
so it's the
Eastern cultures,
spleen.
Ayurveda, like all of our Eastern medicine,
all talking to the
100%.
spleen.
Yes, that's why I even said when you were here, like, would you like ice water? Because I prefer, because I love you,
Yeah.
that you have, like, you know, room temperature water.
Yes.
So a little in depth, but I never have a chance to talk about these things.
Oh, I
And
love
it's so
that.
key.
It's so critical.
And then now you're talking about dairy. The other one of the only things in Eastern medicine that we say you cannot eat because it causes dampness. So carry on.
There you
Dairy.
go. Yeah. And it's funny, raw milk had like a moment, and like all these people that don't know what the hell they're talking about are like, raw milk is medicine. Like, stop talking. Like, it was so maddening because every esthetician knows that dairy wrecks the skin.
Yes.
So it's like, all right, my calendar will get full from all the milk that people are now
That's actually
having.
very funny.
True.
It goes in these cycles, and it's like we forget. We have like collective amnesia every 10 years.
Yes.
It's just really funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, so dairy is a large trigger for people. It breaks you out on the chin.
Yes.
And then eggs are a hidden trigger for a lot of people.
Yes.
It is one of the top 6 allergens. And if you work with an endocrinologist or a functional medicine person, they have you do elimination tests of
Yes.
strategic things, eggs being one of them. But
Right.
eggs has albumin protein in the egg white. And it also has a naturally occurring amount of progesterone, which can add up if you're having a lot of them every day. And it can create really bad cystic acne in the lymphatic parts of the face and down the neck.
Yes.
That was one of Kayleigh's big triggers. She actually had right in her lymphatic pathways, her forehead was perfect,
Right.
right in the lymphatic pathways and down her neck. They actually told her that she should remove her lymph nodes.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? That's your large intestine channel and your stomach channel. Done.
In Chinese medicine?
Yes.
Wow.
That is so
And
wild.
digestion's here.
Yeah, it's
I
so-
love this stuff. Like, I become
my
a
lymph
complete
nodes
nerd about
right
these things.
here, and this little like ball that's right under
Yeah.
here. I still to this day have like, is that a lymph node?
Yes,
Like,
that's
right-
more
yeah.
your lymph. Yeah.
So these on the side and right underneath were so inflamed that I got sent to an ENT, and they did that like awful snake that thing up your
Oh,
nose and
gosh.
down your throat. I know, it was so uncomfortable, so awful. They snaked a camera down. And he was like, we want to monitor this, and if these don't go down in the next few weeks,
Right.
like we should consider removing them.
Goodness gracious.
Which I'm just like, why are they so inflamed?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're just gonna remove lymph nodes because they're swollen?
Which,
Like,
by the way, we
clearly-
understand how important the function of lymph nodes
Yes,
are, right?
right?
It's just-
Clearly my body is screaming at me right now, like something is wrong. That was one of the final straws for me. I mean, I was already feeling so frustrated because before I met Danielle, I was going to multiple primary care doctors, multiple dermatologists. Like, I genuinely kept expecting to get a completely different answer. I was Googling acne dermatologists, acne primary care physicians, like trying to find someone that specialized it a little bit more. Same answer over and over again.
Right.
Birth control, antibiotics, well, not even spironolactone, because my acne was so aggressive that they were skipping over that for me and just
Right.
going straight to Accutane. But the removing of the lymph nodes, that was the final straw that I was like,
Thank goodness.
is
I mean,
anyone listening
right?
to me?
How often do we not necessarily know that? I want
Yeah.
to say it directly, but gracefully, and we go ahead and we
Of
do what we're
course,
told, which
you think
makes
that's
complete
best.
sense.
Yeah.
And I love that you said that earlier, Danielle, that, you know, with respect truly, and this is where East-West, integrative, that's where it really, old and new, it all truly comes together,
Yeah.
is that I want to believe, and I do believe, that these doctors, these dermatologists, they mean well. They don't mean,
Yeah,
but
of
it's
course
a
they do.
part of, I know you
Yeah.
mean that as
It's
well. That's why I
Western
want to say this.
medicine that is
Yes.
the issue. They're handcuffed to a
Yes.
very specific
Yes.
playbook, and they're penalized if they
Yes,
deviate
and they
from
might
it.
not even know. And that's the beautiful thing of what's happening right now in our world.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
always have to go to the positive, but it actually exists right now. And they just don't necessarily know that. So we have to empower ourselves, find experts, exactly why you're here, that can help us to find a more correct answer.
Yeah, we actually partnered with an amazing dermatologist. His name's Dr. Omar Ibrahim, and he's so well studied. He's done a laser fellowship. He's done, I think he's done like 4 fellowships. Like, he is
Right.
truly a student through and through. And he sees a lot of people for acne, and he was writing a lot of like low dose Accutane and a lot of spironolactone. And he's like, there has to be more to it.
Yes.
He caught wind of our clinical results that we were getting.
Right.
And just heard through the grapevine about the results of this new acne company, and it was like totally different. And he reached out to us and was like, I think what you're doing is great. Can I see your clinicals? Can I see your data? We sent him everything. He's like, I'm sold. How can I be
Oh,
a
I
part
love
of
that.
this?
Yeah.
Cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he loves our number one SKU is actually, even though we're a skincare
Yeah, tell me,
company,
I was going to ask you.
it's Mind Body Skin. It's
Yes.
a hormonal acne support vitamin. And it's a combination of 6 different ingredients.
Yes.
There's DIM, which is very important for the liver to help metabolize estrogen,
Yes.
which everybody needs, even the fellas.
Yes.
There's bioavailable vitamin A in the right amount to actually actually correct the
Thank you
skin.
for saying that.
And
Yes.
then there is vitamin B5, there's turmeric, there's milk thistle for the liver and lymph, and then there's 5-HTP
Right.
for the stress response and the PMS support, and then there's a little bit of digestive support in there.
Oh, I love that. I'm like, as the formulator in me is, and the proper, I'm not just talking about formulating products, but like the herbologist in me with that kind of wisdom. That's exactly one of the many things that are so amazing about your products is that they're formulated with that purpose and that under that balance. You
Thank
know?
you.
So transformative. I mean, we really created the supplement because of all the blood work we saw for years
Yes.
that San Diego Acne Clinic patients kept coming back with over and over again, the
Right.
same issues. And now we have even more insight because we partnered with Rupa Labs and we have concierge medicine side of ClearStem
Yes.
where we run lab work
That's
and
right. I
for
love that.
acne.
We're hearing it.
And that's given us so much more insight. And so our mind body skin supplement, like we like to say, is the 80-20 rule. Like it can solve about 80% of the internal root causes of acne. For a lot of people, it clears them right up, which
Sure,
is
that makes
incredible.
sense.
And then there's that 20% of people that are dealing with some more aggressive internal
Of course.
dysbiosis in some way, imbalances, whether it's heavy metals, yeast, bacteria, infection, things like that. And that's where we can get an even deeper look into the blood work.
I love that, which is a way that we can utilize and integrate modern medicine because that's, I mean,
And those protocols are a little more
good.
custom.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, I thought you were going to
Yeah.
say something. I was like, tell me more. Oh, no, so you said the ice cold water, the dairy. Is there anything else in particular that you wanted to mention?
Eggs are a
'Cause
big,
these are
big hidden one for
eggs.
people. There are certain vitamins
Okay.
that can spike testosterone, and it's not like advertised, and it's not really well known that they can spike testosterone. Vitamin D is one that they know it can spike testosterone in men because most studies are done on men, especially testosterone studies. But I have seen it a million times in my clinic and experienced it myself, where too much vitamin D,
Yes.
especially minus the cofactors that it needs to actually properly be metabolized, due to the fact that it is a hormone and it's fat soluble, it can create cystic acne right where you'd have a goatee.
Yes.
I've seen that a ton. So that's one that's common. And then zinc is known to raise testosterone. If you're
Yes.
taking a standalone zinc or an immune supplement that has a lot of zinc, it can create acne around the mouth. I see it very commonly there. Too much B12 is
Yes.
really common because you'll see B12 in these obscenely high amounts.
Yes, especially with all of the injections and different
Yes.
things right now. So
Oh,
again,
gosh.
I'm graceful about
Right
everything, everything
here.
in balance. Listen, there's a when to do and not to do, but that's a whole thing as well. You know,
Yeah.
the injections, the IVs. There's a place for all of it, but do be aware. And I'm so happy that we're talking about this. That does not mean it's always balanced for your body. In fact, that's exactly why I opened this question. I knew you would answer in this way, and it's so important because people think, "Oh gosh, it's vitamin D, D3. We're just going to take." No, that is one of the ones to watch out for.
Yeah.
Zinc, one of the ones you have to watch out for. You can just buy it, pop, and especially for our kids, it can be
Yeah.
imbalanced for our condition. For
And
lack of a better way of putting it.
there's no stop date that's communicated. And I
Yes.
think that's what's the problem is people will go in for routine blood work and
Yes.
usually everyone's comes back you're deficient in vitamin D.
Yes.
I mean anyone
And
listening.
then everyone goes crazy
how
and
many
they don't
times
check again.
Yeah, how many times have you gotten the blood work where it comes back deficient vitamin D and you're not given a lot of directiveness? It's
Right.
typically like, oh, go pick up a vitamin D at your local pharmacy, and they may give you a range if you ask. But many times it's not communicated that you need a D and K2.
Yes.
And that you also should be taking a magnesium because you
Yes.
need the cofactors for it to be absorbed. And it's usually not being communicated that that's fat soluble. So should I take it every day? Should I take it 3 days a week? Should I take it every day for 3 weeks and then pare back? There's no protocol for it. So it's building up in your body. And then there's no stop date because a lot of people don't get their labs done for maybe another year, maybe another 2 years, and then they self-identify with I'm deficient in vitamin D for like 5 years, 10 years,
Right.
the rest of their life. There's
Right.
never that end date. And so there's a lot that doesn't go as planned when it comes to blood work, and why we love when people work with practitioners, functional
Yes.
medicine doctors,
The experts.
yeah,
Literally, that is
the
why we
experts.
have this show.
to look at optimal ranges, not just standard American ranges, but true optimal ranges, preventative, longevity, like what's actually going on in the body, and then having more regular blood work to understand you're on a protocol for about 3 months. Get your blood work done again, see what changed, see what
Yes.
shifted.
I love that. And something that actually for many decades I have spoken on this level and in the skincare, kind of industry as well, that you can have the best ingredients in the world, but if you don't have someone watching your blood work, knowing how to take it in a balanced manner, even when it comes to skincare, body care, hair care, you can have the best ingredients in the world. But if they are not synergistically working together, that's the wisdom that's been passed down for thousands of years of how you formulate properly, for example.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's good for you. In fact, it can be harmful. Do nothing, but furthermore, be harmful.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very important conversation. To pivot for a second, because all of this is so interesting, I could just do this the whole time, but I also want to discuss ClearStem and kind of that path for all the entrepreneurs out there. So this is like a full scope conversation.
I love it.
I feel so fortunate. So we're talking about the health part and now about your journey with ClearStem. So was it just like so easy the whole time? You guys just said like,
Totally.
Oh, this idea,
Never.
it seems that way. It's so amazing, but I had a feeling because it doesn't work like that. So
I mean, there's a lot of ways to start a business. The traditional private equity way, if you want to call it that, it's like you have a bunch of investors, a pool of money. These days, maybe some celebrity to be the face of it who has a following, and then you do the branding exercise, and boom, you create a big brand, you create products, and then you launch it to the world.
yes,
We didn't do that. We didn't do any of that. So we
None of
had
that,
one
yeah.
product because
I'm asking.
I was formulating a product for my clients of color because their skin scars so much easier.
Yes.
I myself am part Peruvian, so I scar very
Are you
easily.
kidding? I just had a whole thing.
Right, you scar. One of my tricks that I do to see how quickly someone can scar, especially if they're a new client, I look at their elbows.
Okay.
If they have darker elbows, that means
Yes.
they hyperpigment like that.
It's so important to know. So mine was, I'm very aware of the skincare, the formulations, but mine was, I can't believe I'm just sharing this, but I'm going to go there because it's really important. It was laser hair removal, which by the way, I did it like 20 years ago, ladies. Okay. And 20 years ago, meaning like the technology back then,
Yeah.
everything worked out just fine. So I'm like 20 years later, I'm like, let's just go back and do this again. And so they go to do it. And I just
No.
have all these scars,
Oh,
No.
which I don't now.
What?
Good.
For the most part.
Did they fade or did you have to do something
Well,
else
I
to
did
your
all the
hair?
things, Also, actually, I'm happy I brought this up because everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
That is a moment in time where I knew, and I will say this, that because of all the years I take care of myself, because I'm so grateful to know the medicine and how to do these things, that I do believe that my body kind of kicked in to help expedite things,
Nice.
And so, but it was, a while.
Wow.
So anyways.
Wow.
That's
But the whole
unfortunate.
thing. You're like,
I'm
oh
so
my gosh,
sorry.
I just literally, and I looked like it was like a design. I was like, maybe I should lean in. I'll like tattoo
Yeah.
it.
Totally.
Nice.
Yeah, should I just commit to this at this point?
That's funny.
On my leg, Chinese church. Guys.
Oh man.
So, but the colored skin.
The scars are no joke, and if something scars you,
Oh my gosh.
you can have a breakout that lasts a few weeks, but the scars can last 6 months or a year. So we knew.
It's right now. I'm like, don't touch your face. This is not a joke.
Yeah, right. So the thing with darker colored skin is that some of the treatments like lasers that you would do for scars can also scar you. So that is why I started formulating a serum that was a stem cell serum geared for acne prone skin. There was nothing like it at the time. There still is nothing like it. But it was
right.
for my clients of color, and it was so helpful with scars. That's why Kayleigh doesn't have any scars. So I was formulating it. I would save the lab samples for her. We would geek out. I'd have some other clients try it that were in the scarring phase, and we finally found a winner. And another client of mine was an Amazon guy. He put it on Amazon. It blew up. So it just became like a little hobby project for a little while, and we just reinvest everything. We started a website. We both, I was busy in the clinic full time. She had another job. So we finally went full time in like COVID time, pretty much.
Okay, I love that.
And
so
that's
what
when we really
was
took
your, because those are the moments in life, right? I can think of two for me where you just like take that leap of faith. Like, was there something in particular? Was it COVID and just now is the time to do it, or what?
Well, I had to shut my clinic down during COVID.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I know.
And then we just, like, the momentum just kept coming. People wanted more. We were selling out. Orders kept going. Like, it had momentum. There was never a moment where we're like, oh my God, this thing's going to die. Like that.
Yeah.
We were very lucky. It just didn't happen like that. It kept growing and growing and growing. People were attracted to it. We got our first employees. We built the team. We now have like 30 employees and a whole team of offshore people that run our customer service. And it's just been growing like crazy.
I love that. So when you started, you said about a decade now, right?
About
Ish.
8 years is when we like incorporated, but
Okay.
about 5 years is when we really like made it a thing. Yeah.
Okay. And so at this point, when you look back to when you first began, are there things that you would have told yourself then, you know, I wish, like, do this or don't do this?
So glad we went into it very naive.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Like one, I'm so glad that Danielle had the business acumen from San Diego Acne Clinic
Yes.
to apply a lot of the learning lessons from having that business into ClearStem. The like fiscal responsibility of everything, like that was all implemented very early into ClearStem. So very grateful for that. And then as far as like, obviously neither one of us had experience creating a skincare company. This is our
Yes.
first time doing that. I'm so glad we were naive to it, because knowing everything we know, I think the barrier to entry takes so much longer. I think it takes a lot more money. It's a lot more capital intensive, but because we were so rogue at the time,
Yes.
I was
You believed
actually
in it, you had a
just
purpose.
I was just sending Danielle pictures last night because we're getting ready for a big brand refresh this
Okay.
year in a month. It launches July 30th.
That is really exciting.
And so I've been going through old pictures because I thought it'd be like so fun for us to like share the beginning
Yes,
days of
and
ClearStem
remember.
and like finally having like a cohesive brand. And so I was going through old pictures and we were saying things we probably shouldn't have been saying, like claims on things.
Oh, yeah.
But we had no idea. But also the skincare industry at the time wasn't as regulated as
Yes.
now. We now have like MOCRA laws.
Yes.
Those didn't exist. So also a lot of the things at that time weren't put in place regulatory wise anyways.
Yes.
They now are. And so it was a little more of the wild west. We were filling bottles in my 1-bedroom apartment. We were
yes.
like putting stickers on them. We were mailing them
They
out.
weren't even sealed.
There were no safety seals on it. And I'm so glad that we just did it one day at a time.
Yeah.
I had a full-time job for the first almost 3 years. And was just balancing both. Danielle also was at San Diego Acne Clinic full-time every day and balancing ClearStem.
Right.
So we were just doing it as we can without putting pressure on each other. Like for the first years, we were just filling the gaps where
love
we
that.
could
That's so beautiful.
and getting the work done when we could. Like as long as those orders were going out,
Right.
everything else just came in time.
It's so funny because all that keeps coming. I don't even mean to cut you off, but all that keeps coming to my mind is like you did not get in your way. You did not get in your own way.
Like, oh, this has to be. We
know?
weren't like stressing each other out. We were just like building it and flowing and talking to the community and just doing it because it was a side project for us for the first couple years.
Yeah.
And
so
then
fun.
when COVID hit, that was so fun because the clinic shut down. I had just left my full-time job. And so we had every single day together when the world was shut down. So we were just having fun with it. I mean, we were having fun connecting. I know.
Yeah.
Connecting with our community, hosting online master classes, and just like doing it.
What a cool thing. I like taking it in for a moment because how do I put this? So, you know, I've been in manufacturing for 20 years, you know, and I see a lot of amazing companies. A lot of them make it. They're in your Credo, Sephora, Whole Foods, all the places. But you do see so many that something occurs and it's, you know, it's not easy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Especially during that time. So what a beautiful thing to see that you all, as far as I'm concerned, have not even begun and you're already blowing up. So let me be very clear. ClearStem. Okay, there you go. But it's nice to hear. Like to me also what comes to mind is, you know, we hear so much about manifestation and enjoying the process. And I know not everything is just like, you know, you're sailing through, you walk through some ups and downs, but what a beautiful thing, because to me that is manifestation. Like the fact that you are very focused on the ultimate goal, you're very genuine and rooted in that, but then you really do enjoy the process. And every time it sounds like things get really, if they could get really stressful, that's not even a part of that. And look what happens. You know?
Well, I think to your point, I mean, manifestation's really nice. I don't know. I can't say that I manifested it in my mind as like a premeditated thing. There wasn't like a vision board of ClearStem ever.
Yes.
It was more just like one foot in front of the other. This is the next right decision. Here's what's in front of us. Here's how we get here. And it was the results of manifestation when it actually works, it's all about the action steps. It's about intuitive action toward the ultimate goal. So we had that. We just didn't know what the ultimate goal was, but we were in tune with our action the whole time.
I love this, and I cannot even believe we're going here because it's not something I say often. I am not going to be afraid, but I am happy we said that because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding of what manifestation
Totally.
is. And
Yeah.
I'm certainly no guru in manifestation per se,
Yeah, back
but I
then,
am a
back when we were
Taoist.
starting, I would have said it was
No,
stupid. I'm like, you can make vision boards all
listen.
day long. I'm busy. Like, no.
Okay, Danielle, okay, we're gonna get real here. I'm a Taoist, I'm connected to all the things, like seriously, I teach all of these things, but I have to tell you, that's not something I do very often. Now the whole world is gonna be like, what, Jenelle? Like, you don't make a vision, but you don't do these things?
Oh, now we do.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't even do that so much, to be honest. I'm not gonna change my answer here. I would love to, and I think I see but I love what you said. That's what I want to, because here it comes as we're talking about building the company, but it doesn't come up very often, that how you just describe manifestation, that's what I kind of want to hone in on. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Aligned,
because it is, but
unstoppable
also,
action.
Yes.
that's what you're saying, it's action.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like
universe
that's the
rewards
most important
motion.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have your, maybe not the complete goal of I'm going to have this necessarily skincare or what it's going to look like, but you knew what mattered to you. You knew what you wanted to give to the world. You never lose sight of that. And then you, let's be honest, you just work really hard to get there. But how beautiful to enjoy that process.
Thank you. We do enjoy
well.
it.
Yeah.
It's the
I know, it's
process has
refreshing.
changed a lot, but
Of
we
course.
enjoy
So
every
much.
moment
And you
of
have to
it.
pivot. I believe that's one of the reasons I know you have so much success, because you're able to do that and align together
Yeah.
and do it together.
Something
Thank
I
you.
love about Danielle and I's relationship is
Mhm.
every roadblock that has come up, and
Right.
there has been so many. We just find the learning experience, the joy, the comedy,
Right.
the
Like, oh, that
That's
was
huge.
weird.
That's my
Like,
favorite
okay,
line.
let's go
That was
listen
weird.
to some rap
Yeah,
in the
but-
car.
Oh gosh, we're very aligned.
Actually, so like we just find something in it that like keeps it light, keeps its learning, like Danielle and I are-
moving.
yeah, and
That's what it
moving.
sounds, movement.
Yeah,
You know? When you
yeah.
get, things get stagnant when you
moving.
get too stuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
I just totally was redundant, but it's the truth.
No, yeah,
You know?
it's true. So we just, we keep it moving
Yeah.
forward, and like Danielle and I, like we like making comedy out of things, making it lighter, or when like one of our favorite sayings to say is when things go twists and turns and you finally land on something, it's like, how do we always get what we want?
Yep.
I love
You
that.
don't know the
Okay.
road that gets you
Nope.
to that end point, but it's like, how do we always get what we want? And just continually saying that at every stage.
Yes.
Because at every stage there's so much joy to be had, but there's a
Yes.
million different ways
Absolutely.
to get
and
there.
I like that too, if I can say, because so often when we get stuck in things as human beings in any relationships, business, it often comes down to we don't even realize that we don't know what we want. And I say that often. I love that you just said that. Like when you're really unhappy, you can be the most, you can be aware. I won't say most,
Yeah.
you can be the smartest, but oftentimes if you stop and just say to yourself, what is it that I want? We don't always have that answer. So
Yeah.
I love that one
So
of
true.
the ways that you've reached the success is that you keep asking that. I love that. Love that. I'm grateful. So we're coming to the end of our conversation, which is always very sad to me. But you said that you're going to have a rebrand coming at the end of July, so we
Yes.
can't wait. Anything else that we should
She's
know
so
about?
pretty. New products
Okay.
later in August.
Okay.
Yes, a very transformative product.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have crippling perfectionism,
Okay.
but it serves our customers well.
Sure does.
Absolutely.
And I'm very impatient, which also serves our customers
Yes.
well.
All the things.
Because if I use a new product, I want to be impressed within 48 hours.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. I
Bottom
love
line.
that.
And that's how we formulate stuff.
I
It's
love
either
that.
going to make you glowy, dewy, brighter, transform your skin, unclog your pores. Like it will do something, like usually the first time you use it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's definitely not always the case.
No.
No, like I'm like
Also
Yeah.
acknowledging with ingredients that are good for you.
that are
Yes.
good for
Right.
you.
So there's
right.
plenty of things that can give you that instant gratification, but
Yeah.
I certainly would not say to use them. But different for both of you.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all of our products serve a very clear purpose, and we stay one with the customer. We don't launch, like we're never going to launch a bunch of like lip colors. That's not our
Yes.
thing. We're
I
not,
love that.
we-
Stay in our lane.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know what the customer needs. We are a customer. We're both very acne
Yes.
prone, and I know what I'm looking for, and I try everything. I will buy literally every skincare
Yes.
that gets served to me in an ad. If it seems decent and it doesn't have pore cloggers, I will try it
Yes.
and I'll see what works. Most of it, 90% of it is garbage.
I know.
If there's one thing that I like, I'm okay. It'll be like, okay, this might work for our customer. Like this segment of our customers, like for example, like an oil cleanser. Is it necessary? No. But do some people want it for like an extra hydration? Like say it's winter and it's a really dry
Yes.
place. Okay, that might serve a purpose in someone's
Absolutely.
barrier. Okay, great. I'll formulate that, but I'm gonna make it better.
Yes.
So we're just very intentional with what we launch. We don't get told what to do by investors or anything like that. And
That's
we keep
key.
it really,
Going
really
back to the
pure.
business aspect.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Craig
we
and
don't
I have
get
done
told
the
what to
same.
do, and we don't really like care what anyone else thinks. We know what our
it's a
community
beautiful
is.
thing because a lot of times, I mean, we're coming to the end of our conversation, so I'm not trying to open, but you did acknowledge that, and that's why I was curious about myself. But Craig and I as well, we've done everything ourselves, and there can be a lot of things that are difficult in that, and not saying that it's always going to be that way, you know, but there is something to say if you are starting a business that, you know, it could be helpful to have all of the things that come with having investors, but just be aware that it can also take that away, you know, the fact that you really have complete, I don't love the word control,
autonomy.
but yes, thank you. That's even better. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so beautiful. And where can everyone find the products? Where can they find you?
You can find us, all of our products, on ClearStem.com. If you sign up and you take our skin quiz, sign up, you'll also be notified about our brand refresh, about all of our product launches. But our website, Danielle and I have made sure it is stocked full of education.
Yeah.
Our blog,
This is the truth.
to
You
our
guys really
skin
educate.
quiz, to our resources, like our pore-clogging ingredients checker, where you can check all of your skincare, hair care, and makeup for pore cloggers to see if they're breaking you out. On all social channels, ClearSTEM Skincare, also a ton of great information.
Yes.
And then
I really love that you both do that with guests, I believe.
Yeah.
But you say like what's kind of trending, if you will.
Yes.
And you say like you rate whether you like that or not. And I was like, I really like
Mary
this.
Kill,
Yeah,
Smash Your
attention.
Pass.
Yes,
There you
I
go.
love
Okay,
those.
sorry.
And then Danielle's Instagram is Danielle the Acne Guru, and mine is Kayleigh Christina. And we both love sharing just more of like lifestyle, acne, wellness, all the things. Like just it's really fun.
Well, you really embodied all of that. The beauty, as I started from the inside out, truly, truly, from everything, from who you are, your story, the journey, the formulation, what you share, how you educate. So I am very grateful, and I know I'm not the only one.
Thank you.
We
Thank
all
you
are.
so
Thank you
much.
for being here, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.